that whole time. There was supposed to be music playing. Welcome, welcome. Ivensky there with the first. Hello, Ivensky. I'll talk about the wheel a little bit and hype it up before we spin it, in case other people want to join and see the spin happen. I also need to adjust my webcam a little bit more. Opening up with Astral Observatory from Game Chops. Trust me, I know the Majora's Mask soundtrack. Let's hide this. And spin to win. No, spin to make work. Here's the wheel as I have it. Oh wait, let me share my stream. Screen. Webcam back on. Boom. I have no border on the webcam today because I redid all the dissolve border artwork and forgot that I was using it in the OBS, and I forgot how to use OBS because I haven't set this up in like a year and a half, so I'll fix that later. The webcam's still here. Here's what we've got on the wheel right now, and we're going to adjust this between streams, and I'll take suggestions even now if anybody has anything that could go on here. But big, broad categories, and I'm going to try to come up with some kind of bite-sized version of it that I can add. Like, if it says new enemy, I might add a whole new enemy, but I might also add, like, enemy variation. Just because I want to. The idea behind the Wheel of Features is to have a little bit of fun with the community, adding something small to the game that doesn't take up all of my free development time. And then the rest of the time, I can be working on the big, chunky features that are less fun to stream. And I don't get distracted by adding fun little details so much. Because I have that tendency as a developer to just be like, oh, I want to add a new flower. I'm going to spend a week adding a new flower, and instead of doing what was actually on my to-do list. So now I can do that on the stream. If I get to roll terrain, I'll add a new flower. Hooray, I get to do that. But if I don't, then I don't. And I'm going to work on the important stuff before I do those things. And I'd love this to be a regular thing, depending on how it goes, just as a way to continue developing Arcanaclysm and involving the community a little bit more, adding some fun, new, unexpected things that weren't on my to-do list, and just having something a little bit more regular for the YouTube channel, at least until my life gets really busy again. I have a tiny bit of spare time. Ooh, we're getting some frame drops. That right? Wait. Dropped frames. 3.1%? That's probably fine. Roommate's using the Wi-Fi. It's not going to be great. Let me know if it gets really bad. But hopefully it's fine. I'm going to spin so that we can get started. And this will be the first spin. Well, I'll talk about what's on each thing. There's new enemy, which is like something that the player could fight, or an enemy variant. A new critter would be a... Didn't need those frames? Yeah, the recycle bin can have them. A critter would be like a friendly thing, like a butterfly, which we have, something new like that. An item would be something that you can pick up or, put in the inventory. It's probably going to be like a new attack item or a crafting recipe or something like that. A terrain object would be, this is really broad, it's kind of everything that you would interact with that isn't an enemy or a critter or an NPC. So this might be, I don't know, it includes a treasure chest, I guess. But terrain objects like trees and rocks and things like that. I want to, on the stream, try to come up with a fun one, so we won't be adding just a rock, but that would be a terrain object. And then an NPC would be maybe the most exciting one right now because there aren't any of those in the game yet. But we would draw a new sprite. I have an idea if we roll NPC. And add a little bit of intro dialogue for them, write that up, and then in the future I can work it into the larger storyline when I have more time to think about it. Yeah, that's my idea. If you have any ideas for what could go on the wheel, send them in the Discord server, and the next time I run this stream, I'll have an updated wheel. But let's spin. 3, 2, 1. I think I just click it. Yeah. Here we go. What are we gonna get? Ooh, okay. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but that was a weird sound. All right, we got terrain, adding a new terrain thing. Let me put this back, and let's think about what a terrain thing could be. 1 second. Ooh, notepad. Okay, great. We can brainstorm. Zoom. Wait. Ooh, how much can you zoom? I don't think I want to do it that way. I would like to reset the zoom. And just... Okay, we're already off to a great start, which is how do you change the font and font size? Regular size. I want this to be much bigger. The sound of ocean waves calms my soul. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can brainstorm some stuff for terrain. The wheel spun terrain. Okay, so let's look at what terrain stuff we already have as a... Uh-oh, what did I do? We've got in the realm wilds plants. We've got lots of flowers, bushes. I hate that Windows is trying to have all the system settings for built-in apps to move to the system settings. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I understand the idea, kind of. I think I just wouldn't have done it. It's not my preference at all. We could do bushes, trees, flowers. This is a special bush. We could add a variation to any of these things, like let's here, new ideas, variations. Whoa. That's how you spell. If I can get a markdown text editor, that'd be neat. I could have something like an apple tree as a variation example. Take a spark sap tree, add something that can grow on it sometimes that you find, and that could drop an item that you find. Notepad++. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I have that. I'll do that next time. Drop item. Obviously, the wheel categories aren't mutually exclusive. This idea that we do today might involve adding a new item to the game. I gotta stop drinking my tea so fast, or it will be done before I know it. New ideas. I do need, under terrain here, we also have some stuff. Boulder, or this is kind of out of date. Stumps, wooden barricades. A small boulder, the size of, a large boulder the size of a small boulder. I do kind of need something that is so that for the axe, there is a bush and a tree, and the bush uses a weaker axe to break than the tree. The tree requires a stronger axe. I need the same thing for the hammer, probably. So I kind of need a smaller boulder or a bigger boulder than what we have here to make use of the two different tiers of the axe upgrades. So we could add something like that, or maybe we could do a peg. Like the Link to the Past peg. Wow, I need to move my keyboard to a slightly different spot. Let's see if that helps. Link to the Past hammer peg. Image. These things. There's a few versions of those. So we could make one of those where you hammer it and it goes into the ground. That'd be pretty neat. Just as another kind of hammer check. Do you have hammer? Why not? That's an idea. Feel free to chime in with anything that might fit into terrain. Water. I'm not doing water. I'm vetoing that right now because water will take like probably 20-30 hours of work. Maybe less because I can port a lot of what I did in Dart Dreams. But that is something I need to do eventually for terrain. Let's walk around in the Realm Wilds and see what might fit. It could also be something that interacts with the... Oh, interesting. These bushes should not spawn there. They should be blocked by the flower. Wonder... Okay, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this and post it in my notes. This is not a bug fixing stream. This is an add something stream. Let's walk around at night because I haven't done that much. I added the daylight cycle quite recently. So we've got axes we can chop things. A new tree variant would probably be nice. Just to add a little bit more variation to the biome. Because right now there is just kind of one thing. Or I could add like tall grass. And then we could add lechugans as well. Wait, is the pause button in this game? Tall grass. And the lechugans are the grass spirits. Oh, I keep hitting Control S out of instinct. Here, we'll go to... Okay, there we go. The lechugans are the grass spirits, or like the grasses that come to life, which I think would be totally suitable for Arcanaclysm as another enemy variant. Kind of just have a very simple AI as an early game enemy. To give some variation to what we already have. Yeah, the evil grass. Exactly. And that would both give us a new terrain variation, be easy to spawn in, and give us a new enemy to work with. A very simple one to add as well. So I'm leaning towards that at the moment. But let's wander around a little bit more and see what else I can think of. Oh, I keep hitting the... I keep using the last Librarian controls because I've been working on the last Librarian randomizer for a few weeks. I haven't actually been doing as much in Arcanaclysm besides the daylight cycle, since I'm trying to focus down on finishing the last Librarian update. The bushes we can class. This would be an interesting area to add some stuff to up here. I want this to be like a campsite or a house. I think if I added an NPC, there'd be an old man living here. I do kind of want to add like a roof kind of thing that can fade away when you go in, so that this is actually like a house and not just a barricaded area. So that's where you get the axe normally. Uh-oh, getting some camera jitter. I don't know if it's just my screen, like if it's a VSync thing. My monitor is not that good, or if it was, if it's a thing I can fix. Oh, this just is blocked off for now because I didn't add it yet. I don't like, maybe I should make the cursor go away in the game. Hey, yeah, stream time, yes. Welcome, Tene. Tenebro. We're adding a... Oh, it's becoming nighttime. Or it's becoming morning? It's becoming morning. We are adding a terrain object, and we have a few ideas here. Uh-oh. Leave me alone. Talking about boulders or like hammer pegs. Howdy. Maybe tall grass to add the grass spirits, the evil grass. Or a tree variation. So if you have any ideas, we're still brainstorming, and then we'll pick something and go. Oh, here's the little... I made these guys, fireflies. Bomb... what are they called? Glory bugs, I think. I will refrain from killing it, but I am deeply tempted. I need to upgrade my hammer as well to get through these axes. These logs. I like the hopping animation sometimes. Not used to seeing them jump so high, but it's unique. Thank you. I like them as an enemy design because they just land wherever you were when they jumped. So they're totally easy to avoid. They'll never hit you unless you're standing still. But you have an axe, why not make the lechugans have as siblings that are evil trees? That's a good idea. And then it would be something that would require the tree to break. Evil tree. Yeah, that could work. I'm hesitant because I think that would be a lot of animation more than anything. But it's definitely something I wouldn't mind adding at some point. There's the overlapping flowers again. That annoys me. Intrigue ones. We're asking for terrain ideas, so like things that inanimate objects that can spawn in the terrain generation, like the flowers and bushes and trees. Some of them might result in enemy variations, but I don't necessarily want to add an enemy today because that's not what we spawn on the wheel, and that's kind of complicated. Oh, what is that up there? Got a lot of... That's annoying. Anyways. What sort of default biome? Well, for now we've only got this biome that we're seeing here. The Realm Wilds with this kind of orange-brown grass and these vibrant trees and rocks and things. This is a more rocky area. Oops, that guy got obliterated. And then the occasional flower. I added a new flower variant recently, so it could do something like that. It could also be a variation of these, so we've been talking about either the tree enemy or some kind of thing that grows on the trees, like a fruit, to make it so that there's something to look out for. Oh, I had another thought. I kind of want giant acorns, and then Slanch's acorn helmets. They're just some acorns somewhere, like they would eventually grow into really huge trees. You could smash them with the hammer, and they could be a low-tier hammer object. And then the thought is that you could have slimes wearing acorns as a helmet that you have to smash also with the hammer to get the slime out to kill them. I'm actually quite happy with that because it combines several of the things we've talked about up to this point. Uh-oh. Get out of here. Oh. Can't fit through there. Is this... Wait. This is just random here. It just spawned like that. Let's go back and see if that's true. I don't want it to just stay daytime. You could add little depressions, like areas that look like rocky paths. Oh, so they slow you down. That makes sense. Or... I think so thinking about that idea, I think as a terrain feature, that's a little bit hard to explain, to communicate, like what's the difference between these here? These are just decorative cracks. Yes, dodging the slimes. But that makes me think, what if the slimes left behind like a slime puddle that did that? Slime puddle. And then it's an enemy variation on the slimes that we have. And you could use it. You could use the mechanics, like I could retexture it later and have the same slow mechanics used for a different kind of terrain later. That's interesting. I mean, let's at least prototype that. I like that one. Let's do that. And I can also add the acorns if we have time. I'm gonna mark those two. So let's try that out and see how it works. And then it's just a variation on the slime enemy, or if it doesn't work, we use it for something else. So let's make a, this should be easy actually. All we need, I'm gonna make a slime puddle sprite. I'm just gonna use GameMaker sprite editor for this because, well, hold on. Okay, so I want to make this, first of all, I want to make this slightly circular, slightly more circular. Okay. Hold on. Let's just use the ellipse tool here. Okay, that is ellipsoidal. Actually, I think it should probably fill most of the whole square because I want it to probably align to the grid. Okay, so let's do that. What's the alpha on this? 190. There. Let's just put it like this. Bit of a shadow on the slime puddle. And then I'll do the opposite for a bit of highlights. Would it be bad to break the edge? It looks a little leaky. Yes, I think you're right. I'll make it asymmetrical in a second. Oops. Okay, and then I can add a couple of like little indentations in this to make it less symmetrical. And I'll fix the coloring in a second. Oops. I think this should be... Is this Smooth McGroove? Yep. Metroid. Maybe I could, like you say, add some blotches. For now, let's just test this with this sprite. This is good enough. And I'll update the sprite once we have it working. That's how I'm going to prototype this. Okay, so now the globber is going to get an object. Create object. What is the parent of this object? Visible? I don't think it, I mean, it doesn't need any collision. It's just going to do its own collision checking. Okay, so globber. So now I want to add just spawning the puddle. And I want this to be a toggleable behavior so I can make some slimes do it and some slimes not. But I am going to make that as a change, like a variation. Oh, why is this glowing globber? Just a regular globber. It'll be a variation to the globber. So I'll open that. Let's add a custom behavior in the globber. Behavior puddle. How did I, is this a method? Just declared it as a function, that's fine. And then all we do is we can add an event we can add a step in here where the landing behavior happens to call the puddle function. And all it should do is create a layer at its position. Actually, well, let's try just at its position. Globber, wait, this own layer. Okay. And put this in jump. And are there globbers in the room that I'm spawning in? From wild campsite. No, I'm gonna add some globbers to here, remove some of these other random test objects. Okay, add some of these guys here. Let's load up. Oh, I might also make it so the default time of day is daytime so that I'm not looking at the nighttime sprites all the time. Ooh, well, first of all, I mean that much works, but they are above everything. Oops. Okay, so now we can do a couple things. Override with 2 R's. Yes. That's below. Okay, so that, let's put this in its own group. Where is it that it sets the time? Uh-oh. Game. Okay, so it should start at daytime now. And the slime puddles should be below everything. Uh-oh. Visible? Hold on. Oh. I need to call event inherited in order to get all of the visible properties like depth. Right? Now there's some puddles. Why are they jiggling? What's going on? Are all the puddles jiggling for you guys? It's very subtle. Yeah, it's happening. I thought I fixed this. Hold on. I did fix this. What? I'm so mad. Well, there's a lot of puddles everywhere. Why is that happening? Yeah, you can barely see it. Well, it was a camera scaling issue. This is it. See? Subpixel jitterbug fix. I finally did it. This is when I fixed it. 3 months ago I fixed it. What's going on? I haven't even updated GameMaker since then. Okay. Dagnabbit. Well, I will leave a note and I'll fix it again later. That's a really frustrating bug. It's genuinely like the bane of my existence. Anyways, that's not related to this task today, so I don't have to do it right now. Hooray! All right. Let's see. Okay, one more thing to test before I go back to working on the slimes. I want to make sure that, I want to see if that jittering is happening in full screen mode. Okay, well that's a different, yeah, it's bad. What is going on? And now it's fixed. Well, the jitter's still happening. Well, okay. That's aggravating. Okay, but for now, we have the puddles. Now I want to make them... fade over time. Is it puddle? Yes. How does the globber behavior work? Jump cooldown, new timer. Wait, is this used? I think I replaced that with the behavior cooldown, so I can delete that. Yeah, that's fine. Also, let's... oops, what did I do? Put that there. I want the puddle to be made at its center position and not... +4 to that to make the puddle down in the center of the globber. But I want the origin point on the globber puddle to still be the center, which it is, so that I can use that as an angle calculation to move the player. So let's make the puddles fade after a time. Globber puddle. Okay. You can tell I haven't been looking at this code in a while, because I would remember how to do this mostly otherwise. Check finish. Set, and then I can make a callback. Okay. Duration. Let's start with 1 second. And the callback is instance destroy. And then we can do a second thing, which is in the step event for the puddle. I'm going to make it fade based on how long that is left on the timer, which I think I can get to do timer fade dot, oops, time fade, timer fade dot get ratio should return between 0 and 1, depending on how far it's done. And then I can say image blend, image alpha equals for now, let's just set it to the ratio directly, because then it will, when it fades, it will reach 0, I think. Or I have to make it 1 minus the ratio. I'll just run the code and find out how it works. Or none of that is, oh, I have to update the timer. Okay, the timer's not running at all. That would do it. Well, so at the moment, that is not a long enough duration because the slime doesn't even get off of it. Maybe it should spawn it. Well, I guess it spawns it when it lands. It could spawn it when it jumps instead. Especially if we made the puddle kind of the same size as the globber, you wouldn't even notice. So let's try that and see what it looks like. And this is why I made it as a function to summon this thing, because then I can just do this. Put it over here instead. Okay. Yeah, not sure. That's obviously not long enough. I'm wondering if I think I want to make it a parameter in here. So that a slime could call this behavior whenever and wherever. Okay, and then I should call add. Okay, leaving a note here because I did a weird thing. I don't know what the better way to do that is, but let's see if this works first of all. And if it works, I'm just not going to think about it yet. I'll fix it later if I have to. It's like a couple lines of code. So I'm not going to try to do perfect good practice for that. So this should now last 3 seconds. It does, but it doesn't fade for some reason. Oh, I bet that's because add wouldn't change the maximum duration. Duration callback reset. And reset is what sets current. Add current plus equals amount. Okay. I don't want to change how the timer works. And I think add should not change the current time because, like, the length of the timer. Because if you like have a cooldown running down and you want to extend the cooldown, the maximum cooldown is still the same. So what I think I'm going to do is change the logic for this part to just be a manual get current divided by 1 second. So it'll fade over the course of 1 second. If it's over 1, it's not going to cause any issues, right? Image alpha will just be 1 if it gets clamped at 1 automatically. Let's just find out. So this should mean it lasts for 3 seconds. It's fully opaque for 2 seconds, and then it fades for the last second. This is the behavior we're looking for. Yeah, that looks right. Great, and then a globber could spawn a slime that lasts forever. I could place one of these in the room and have it not fade at all. I could set timer fade. I could just reset the timer, and then it would never fade as well, if I wanted to do that. There's an option here where there's like a boss slime that like shoots these at you too, or like little projectiles that spawn them. So they hit and they stick you. That's fun. Okay, so let's talk with the sticking. I'm gonna work on that next. Player active. Okay, so if there is a player object and this slime puddle is colliding with that player, what I'm going to do is instead of like slowing or sticking, I'm going to make the player forced to move towards the center of the puddle. So it's like they're getting pulled into the goo, just as a test. And then if you walk away from it in one direction, you'll be able to escape, but slowly. And in fact, I should be able to do this. Get the move speed and then multiply it by 75%. So that will be the counteracting force. You'll just be debuffed to 25% move speed as a net in one direction. And then if point distance x, y, player.x, player.y, okay? If you're far enough away to have it make sense to move, I'm just going to adjust the player.x directly. Length is just speed, and distance or direction is in this case from the player to the puddle. Direction. And instead of doing this in 3 lines, since I'm only using this variable once, I'm going to do this. This should be plus equals. I think there's probably some movement code that I could do. Also, this doesn't even do collisions, so that's probably a bad idea. Oh my god. Well, it's very fast. It does exactly what I expected it to, it's just faster than I thought. Oh, but if there's multiple, then it has an issue. This is interesting because it's complementary with the slime's attack pattern, which is get the player stuck in place. Interesting. What is the best way to do this correctly? Oh, wow, look at that. Getting stuck. No. This is neat. Works pretty well. This doesn't work well. If there's overlapping slime puddles, it should just move to the nearest one. Also, let's reduce the speed so it's not as comical. Or, hold on. We can modify the speed by how close it is. So if you're on the edge, it doesn't have as strong of an effect. Maybe overscope, but it'd be cool if the slime puddles merge together if they overlap. Maybe the image blend together. Merging together, I don't think I can do. Blending together, let's see. I'd have to like put it on the shadow layer, and then they'd render with. Because the problem is that they're transparent. It would look better if the overlapping puddles didn't have that like Venn diagram effect. I can't think how to do that yet, but let me think about it, ponder it for a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do this instead, make it distance-based instead of a collision, which is faster. And then I can multiply this. I don't know if I did this right yet, but let's just test it. And if it doesn't work, it'll probably be really funny looking. So that's the best kind of code to run. Slime. Ooh, okay, so I think it is backwards, and that the movement is faster at the outside than the inside, which also means you actually can't escape at all. That's funny, because at the very edge, you're moving at 100, you're getting your speed nerfed by 100%. So let's do 8 divided by distance instead. This means that if you get stuck in the center, you'll be stuck, probably. But the edge, but if you're on the edges, it won't have as strong of an effect. Oh. Wow. No, this is the funny one. What is going on? It's so powerful. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna, first of all, the slimes are getting annoying. I'm gonna just put some puddles around to test. And we'll put some overlapping ones so we can test that as well. So what is happening? This should be the maximum of the distance and that speed calculation. I think it's getting to the bottom and it's overshooting. Can you change their sizes so there's small and big puddles? I could just scale them by an integer multiple. Yeah. So the large slime could drop bigger puddles. That's actually already how the large slime works, except it's an entity, so it has the size property. So I could make the puddles also entities, and then they could have the size property as well. So I might end up doing that, but for now they're just visible. Let's set this to, what happens if I set it to -1? That should be already set, which I think means it won't ever call the callback, but if you add to it, then it will continue counting down. If I coded it right, that's how it should work. Oh. Current is less than or equal to -1. I'm not actually sure why. Not active. So it shouldn't be active. Right, current should be -1. And duration, current should be -1. Duration and callback should all be set. And then when I update it, it should not be active because current is, that's false. It should return false. Oh! But it's there, but it's invisible. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for that lovely insight and addition to the YouTube algorithm. There we go. It was correct. Oh. Whoa. ID instance with object instance with invalid bound top nan, bottom nan, left inf, right inf. Wait, is this the freaking bar ledge equals instance place? Ledge. What is this one? Nice, I get to see something good in the short time I stopped by. Yeah, this is pretty good. And thanks for stopping by, Shuckle, and have a good day with your stream. I swear, I know what this is. Well, first of all, I know what caused it. The player freaking teleported out of bounds. That's what caused it. This error message is so useless, and I know it's something. I've seen this before. It's some weird GameMaker thing. Yeah, I can't figure out the bounding box properties. I think this is the, like, but this is triggered by something weird where, like, an instance gets destroyed. Oh, that's right. This is triggered when... This is something to do with room transitions. And instance event order. This is the, like, you can't create instances on the same frame that you change rooms. and related issues. I think that's what this is. And it's stupid that GameMaker tells us this instead of anything about that. Let me double check. One person said it's if you try to collide with itself, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, whatever. It's obviously the slime isn't working correctly, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this error is. I can fix the slime. I don't have to fix this error. This should be min, not max. Let's start off with that. That's funny. Okay, so you can always... so then let's multiply this all by 0.5. So we'll at worst halve your speed. Oh, interesting. I don't know why you would, what did I do wrong here? Let's first just see what happens if I just set the speed to some normal number. What is the player's speed? Getting the speed stat is more correct because it will compensate for any other like speed buffing effects. I actually wonder if I should be doing this with knockback instead. Okay, so that's actually just correct. Interesting. Where does that put me? And this is jittering is because it's just going back and forth between the center point. So this could, that will be fixed if I go with min distance and then this speed value. Okay, I think instead of making it distance-based, I'm just going to make it a static amount of your movement speed. Because that behavior seems a little bit more... Wait. Oh yeah, if you're walking towards it, you also get a little speed boost there. Okay, so let's just make it player speed. Make that not a magic variable. We're going to put that up here. Honestly, 50% felt pretty good. And this, I don't like doing this. rather give it... I'd rather use knockback, I think. Because it should add them together. So if you're hit by other stuff, like it'll just add all the collision things. Take knockback. Oh, but knockback will fade over time instead of... I mean, maybe it's simpler to just slow the player. Okay, I am going to take a brief break and think about this, and then I'll come back in a couple of minutes with a solution. So give me a few minutes, I will be back. Actually, just in time. Hey, Luna. We're gonna go right back to the slime code. So I was thinking about what to do about the slime movement stuff, including the overlapping slime puddle problem. Puddle problem, huh? Hello, hello. And the answer is don't worry about it right now. I'm prototyping. I'm not going to do anything about it at all. I'm just going to do what I have right now. Oh my god, what happened? I broke it. Where's the puddle? Oh, that's right. I had this half-finished knockback code. Which part worked? I will change it to move and collide subpixel, though. Just to make it so that it doesn't have any extra issues. So that should be good. And then we just do dx dy. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, future CG can take care of it. Exactly. I think what I actually want is for the player movement to be a force vector, and then the puddle will just exert a force on the player, or I want it to be a slowdown effect that should be a status effect that gets applied when you're overlapping with the puddle. And both of those require a little bit more careful planning. So for now, I'm just going to do this, move it towards the center of the puddle when you overlap with it, except I broke it. Where did I missed an underscore. Classic game code trouble. Famous missing underscore. Okay, so now the slime puddles just kind of grab you. Need to fix my game script? Yeah, pretty much. Fix my game script is just put everything in a try-catch. Okay, so now we've got these little puddles, and they do get you stuck. I think 0.5 might not be enough because you can just escape so quickly. So let's make it more impactful. It is relieving to see that you can... Yeah, so now you're kind of stuck. Yeah, pretty good. I can just place them in the room if I want something funny to happen with them. If there's multiple, you get really stuck. That's interesting. Can't even... It's interesting. You can escape this way, but not the other way. I wonder why. At any rate. Eventually I'm going to make it so that you only get affected by one of them. Or if they add together, then when you're in the middle of two, they would have the same strength. So this I'm happy with. But I need to add a note so that I remember change how puddle movement works. Either I want it to be a or two slowness status effect. I think the second one is probably more understandable to the player. Though the force vector thing would also, like, I would need that for, like, moving platforms or conveyor belts or wind. So there's some sense to that. And I like mechanically how the puddle pulls you into the center of it, like a little whirlpool. So I'll probably do the first thing, but I do need to do, like, some actual player script coding, and that's not what this stream is for. But I have to leave the note so that I don't forget to do it later. Otherwise, it'll just be like this forever. Great. So if we change... Let's make a big slime. Oh, I need to do... Okay, so the puddle radius is 8. That's settable. But we want to multiply that by our own stat.size. And this will be, instead of visible, it will be an entity. Love our puddle. Entity. And then size should be 1 by default, so this will not change anything. But I can make it so that the globbers spawning the puddles, let's just make sure that these puddles work, can pass their size multiplier to the puddle. Great. So let us well, let's put a regular slime over here and a large one over here. And then here, where we create the puddle, that should make the slime puddle be the same size multiplier as the slime enemy. Oh, well, wait. Oh, it's working, but the puddles are not... Oh, they're not fading either. That's bad. Yeah, okay, well. Oh, I closed my to-do list, my note. There's several issues going on there. They're not fading because the ones I placed on the ground are stuck. I think I'd rather them just fade correctly, so I'm going to put the timer back to how it was before. And if I want some that don't fade, I'll just make a variation on this. But I will set this to 0 instead, which should still work. And then the... let's see. Set stat. Does size affect... How does that affect their... This should be triggering for the slime puddle. Oh, once again. No fading, just slime puddles everywhere, yeah. I think this should fix it though. I need event inherited, otherwise the component system doesn't get to do anything. There we go. Big puddle, whoa! Why are they moving? They bump each other like other entities do. Oh my gosh, including the player. You're riding around on the slime puddle. Okay, I can disable that. What's the... I'm going to just disable collisions is what I want for this. Undertale, of course. Oh my gosh, the big puddles. Help! Oh my gosh, these are much more fighting when you're stuck in a puddle. Get out of here. Yeah. Yeah. It's also pretty easy to avoid getting stuck, but it's one more thing to worry about. Which is something. And if there's a bunch, then running away is harder. It does prevent you from just running underneath them, which is interesting. That actually makes a really big difference. I mean, listen, I've died to slimes more times in this stream than I have my entire life until this point, so this does make them harder. Of course, I am not trying to kill them, but... Uh-oh. Yeah, see? That's interesting. Oh, you could kill the puddle. Haha, that's funny. That's probably not intentional. I say that like I don't know. Wait, oh, interesting. When you're in the puddle, you can't do it either. So maybe that's good? Because you're in the puddle, now you can't do it. I don't know why you can't when you're in the puddle. Because the collision happens too far away from the player. Get that. I don't think that makes sense. That, like, shouldn't be how that works, so I'm gonna fix it. But there is a mechanic to that that's satisfying. Maybe I can make it some other kinds of items that do that. Like if there's ever a wind wand or something like that that blows wind, or I don't know, a broom you can sweep up any kind of messes. But for now, I'm just going to disable those as well. I actually think maybe stats should be a separate field so that I can give I think I want to be able to give something in attributes and stats without expecting them to take damage. Oh, maybe I've already done that. Where are stats? Default stats? Wait. Component stats init. New component stats. Oh, I just did it like this for some reason. Oh, I know why I did it like this. Because all I want for the puddle is not to be a full entity. I want it to just have stats, so I can just add it this way. So let's change it back to visible. I must have done this for like the hammer. Like the weapons probably have this. I'll check in a second. Component add stats. That's all I care about, right? Stats. So now it should have stats, but it doesn't do anything else other than have stats. Uh-oh. Getting bogged down in the weeds. Where is... There's the puddle. I'm going to rename this one because it's ambiguous. I ate like 2 almonds while I was on my break, and it has permanently affected my ability to speak. Okay, so now these guys should have stats and be able to be scaled, but they won't. Oh, well, the stats, well, now the size stats won't affect it. Ew, that's bad. Why? Almond debuff, yeah. I think the other ones are... I guess I'm just not using this component. Yeah, so the other components are... Oh, interesting. What was that crash? Unable to convert string stats to integer. Get ID. Get components. Get ID. Wait. But component. Hey, are you staying hydrated? I am, thank you. But the almonds kind of undid all that, so I had to drink some more right now. I really don't know what this is doing. I'm just gonna try calling this, see how that goes. Wait, maybe it needs to initialize? This isn't gonna fix anything, but I'll look at the axe and hammer in a skin in a second. Okay, so it does have stats now, but the size doesn't get affected because that's being done in the entities component section in somewhere here. Does the stats component have any set stat? I think this is fine. Instead of doing it here. Oh, but then when they flip directions. If they flip directions, I should be changing the sign of the angle. Not affecting the scale. So if I remove this and there's a bug, that other thing is a worse bug. So I'm just going to do this. Let's just take it. Boom. This also removes something from the step event that doesn't need to be in the step event. Oops. Okay, so it's set the stat already. This is I have to get stat again to compensate for multipliers and stats effects and stuff, instead of just pulling it straight out of here. Then the my size, if it's not 0 or 1, right, then I will scale it. Okay. And then the image scale should be like persistent through other stuff, which it is, and there it works on the big puddles now as well. Neat. Okay, we've got big puddles and little puddles. I mean, we can make any size puddle. Watch this. Well, hold on. Well, first of all, please stop haunting me. Get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna put you in a wall. Oh, nope, that teleports you. Can I pin him in somewhere? Probably. Oh, I can go up here. Okay, hold still. Okay, so now if we make him really big. Ooh, how big? Let's make it 10. Ah! Uh-oh. He's gonna come back down, right? Did he die? Oh no. Ah! Where did he go? Oh, he's over here. There he is. He went out of bounds because he clipped into the wall. I need to change that behavior so that when they collide, they just get stuck instead, or they just don't move anywhere. Slime boss fight? Yeah. Oh my god. Well. You get the idea. The gigantic slime puddle did work. There's some more hydration for you. Okay, what's left is I want to make the puddle sprite better. And then for now, I'm just gonna make the for now, I will just make the puddle a kind of default behavior for them. And leave it in the game for a little bit, see how it feels. I can make it a hard mode thing later if I want, if I don't like it. And I think there should be at least one, let's see here, one spot on this puddle that's separated fully. Man, the GameMaker sprite editor, not the best ever. Okay, I want to make it a tiny bit smaller one more way. Let's see what I can do here. Don't like this yet. This little bubble here. Maybe I can make it really tiny like this. There we go. It's not centered yet. That might be fine. Let's see what this looks like. That's pretty good. I'm gonna use one more of these things. Or even that. Yeah. That definitely conveys what it is. I think I want them to fade a little faster. The fade looks funny to me. That's easy to change. Actually, let's change this to fade duration. Put this in here. Good, they fade in half a second instead of 1 second. But they last the same amount of time. Let's add at least one variation and flip them. And that way they don't all look identical. I'm just moving those over there for now to, oops, keep them. I'll add them back at the end. I make this one a little bit more rounded, kind of bowl shaped. Maybe there's on this one, there's a bigger separate piece. Like there's a split down the middle of this one. Hey, my neighbors are mowing, like they always do. I think we probably have HOAs in this area. Okay, so that's a second splat. It's nice. I like that. Okay, so then if I just here, instead of flipping them programmatically, I will just flip these two sprites. It's amazing what you can do just flipping. Okay, so then the puddle, I just do this. Should work. So we should have 4 sprites, 2 of them are flipped. Yeah. Ow! Hey, back off, bugger. I'm gonna kill you for that. Oh, gosh! Uh-oh. It is trickier. That's interesting. This makes this a much more fun enemy, I think. I don't know if it's suitable always, because obviously I don't want to overcomplicate the beginning area enemies. But at least for the boss slimes, I want to do that. This is more fun than I expected. I'm glad we tried this out. And this lays the groundwork for some other kinds of movement affecting enemies. Man, Feather, can you... An assignment was not expected at this time. Okay. I love Feather, but jeez. This is causing issues too. Why? Okay, let me annotate this. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to add a little slime projectile that also leaves a puddle behind. Okay. Oh, I should have committed a long time ago because I made a bunch of changes to the daylight cycle. Oops. Well, it's fine. Okay, so one last thing then. I want to make a little globber bomb. And then I think when the big one lands, it will throw little blobs off in a big arc that splat and leave a puddle, if that makes sense. Let's use this one. Flower bomb. And I'll just make this a bit bigger. Not like a ton bigger, but... That's probably right. Let's make it even slightly bigger than that. Okay, I like that. Okay, and then I want a shadow for this as well. And that's just this. Because you'll see why the shadow is important in a second. Create object. Create a globber bomb. This is also going to just be visible. Okay. Oh dang. Who has gravity? I think this should be an entity. And you should be able to break it with your axe if you hit it midair. Because that's a skill check. I like that. And that would let it be like, it'll be stopped by things like AoE shields or minions or like fire, stuff like that. So I think this should be an entity. That makes sense to me. Okay, so we've got a globber bomb object. Where did it go? What? Globber bomb? That's globber. There it is. Let's see. So I think I can... add it to the poof. This might work. Okay, so this should call when it poofs. And what I'll do is I'll just kill it when it hits the ground as well. And then this is going to create do the exact same thing as the other guy. Inst dot set size, no, set stat. Get stat dot size. Okay, so this should be a new enemy. Wait, I made it. Oh, I did make it an enemy. Okay, good. Wait, that's a globber. Globber bomb should be an enemy. Okay. And I want to put one of these in the room, and then when you kill it, it should spawn a globber puddle. Oh, I can also set its sprite. So these should just pop. Second. I think my fingers are a little cold. Having trouble typing. Look at that. That's cool. I think these guys are going to be more dangerous if they spawn the slime when they land, and they just increase the timer also by the length of the jump timer. Because then when you knock it away, there's still a puddle left behind. Right. So let's do that. And then I want to add it to... Oh, the jump cooldown is just 1 second. So if I just make this 4 seconds... Getting close to as long as I can stream before I collapse. Oh yeah, I like that too. They land and there's this big splat where they go. That's cool. I think with this setup, the slime puddles could stand to be a little bit smaller, I think. Maybe not. It does add a lot. I like that. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Two hours is your max? Well, yeah. It's a lot different than, well, to be fair, when I'm normally coding, I take a break at least once an hour for a few minutes. So if I took a break, I could go longer than that. But coding and also talking is substantially harder than coding for me. And I'm just not very practiced. Someone who streamed 12 hours straight before, that seems so short. It is pretty short. But also, if I recall, you're not typically face cam on narrating the whole time, which does make it harder, at least for me. But I mean, people who are more practiced with streaming certainly can go much longer than 2 hours. But I could tell my concentration is kind of drifting away, and it's like at this point in my workday, I would normally go for a 15-minute walk before trying to do any more complicated problem solving. I would never face cam wall, yeah. I almost didn't today, but I felt like it'd be weird to be explaining the wheel with just the voiceover. That works. I want to get the globber bombs working, and then I will polish it all up on my own time. So the globber bomb, I guess die makes more sense, and I can reset. Well, let's just remove the. Well, hold on. I can copy the globber's effects. And then I think I want to set the poof effect to nothing. Yeah, 5-6 hours my max definitely takes a lot of energy. I haven't officially streamed for a long time, but when I stream, I have a headset on, chatting on. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't been to one of your streams lately. Effect. Let's see. And see, this is where I mean, like, I forgot what I was doing, and 2 hours ago I wasn't doing that. So, here we go. Okay. Okay, so this is Globber Bomb. I'm just gonna name it Bomb. I'm gonna close some extra tabs. I don't need player anymore. I don't need these components anymore. I don't need any of these sprites. Don't need any of these. I'll keep the puddle. Okay. So that should make the... This is the order they go in, right? Globber spawns a bomb, spawns a puddle. 8 hours are my usual, but I take a big piece. Sometimes when I'm not feeling it into stream priority, so yeah. Yeah. It's always, I mean, especially when I'm not, like, this isn't an income source for me. I just want to be doing a little bit each afternoon at some point. Oh, look at that. That's nice. I think it should not do impact damage, but I kind of like the idea of pushing them around. So I'll leave pushing enabled, but I'll remove impact damage. Impact. Oh gosh, what is it? It should be in the impact attack disable. So I will do that for the bomb. Impact attack disable, so they should not hurt you anymore. They should stay, like, they should bounce away from you like all entities do by default. So I think you could just push the slime bomb around when it's on the ground like this. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So you could bring a slime bomb somewhere else just by doing this to it. This is cool. And then you pop it. Okay. So then I think instead of this, I'm going to make the die sound also the hit because I think it's smaller than a full globber. Now the last thing to do is make them pop when they hit the ground. Oh. Let's just do this. There we go. I like this. It's a whole combat mechanic that, like, those whole things there, those slime bombs, they don't hurt you at all. They just get you stuck. And that's a cool dynamic. Ow! Get out of here. Okay, so that's right. Then all I need them to do is when they land, if their Z speed was larger than 0, take 1 damage. How do I know? depth set shadow function. Is this where gravity is? No. Where's gravity? New component. Components entity, huh? I don't know why that's here instead of whatever. How do I know when it's landed? If on ground, so I have on ground available. I can just add an ECS event here. Oh no, my roommate is vacuuming. I will mute for a second until they get past my door. All right, so this will work. So I think this landed trigger will trigger only when something that was in the air hit the ground, which also means I could change the globber jump to, like this is currently waiting for on the ground. I could change the landed thing into an event instead of the jump component, which I might do. Let me leave a note to do that. Also, I think it should be land, not landed, so I'm going to rename that real quick. Yeah, because it's die, not died. That means these bombs should not change because they're just on the ground already, so they didn't land, right? Let's check that, and then let's make the bigger globber spawn some of these guys, fling them everywhere. Yeah, so these guys are fine. Pop, pop, pop. That's so cool. What a funny thing. So let's make the globber large. And we can just use the exact same land function. This is great. I love this component system. Now that it's there, anything I want to do something when it hits the ground from being in the air, I have an event for that now. I mean, it's just an event system, really. Call them components. There's components that add code to all the events for you, but I'm just mostly using it as an event system without using components for most of it. So let's try create layer, x, y, layer, object, globber bomb. And then we want to do several things with this new instance, but first we're just going to start with this. Z equals, oh, I don't remember which way is Z. Well, let's try this. Speed equals 1. So this should mean every time it lands, one globber bomb will get flung off. Actually, that's not right. I should have used Z speed for that, but... Okay. That's really... That's. I just have to adjust the numbers, but it works. Let's also repeat this 3 times. Actually, let's do this. Okay, so if we adjust their speed randomly, they'll go different distances as well. Because this is a real first level kinematics equation. Okay. Okay. That's great. Oh, I got stuck. It's making a big mess. Ah, get out of here. Ouch. Okay. I got hit by the last regular slime at the end there. That was exciting. Let's restart and try one more time. I'll get a better weapon, because you're expected to have a better weapon for this fight. Even the best weapon. We'll go with that. Oh, hold on. I want to see, can I intersect it? Well, it'll still spawn if I pop it, so it doesn't actually help. I think the bomb ones should last a little less time. But this is all balanced numbers. None of this matters. The bomb is done now. The slam bomb. But I'll reduce its time from 3 to 2. And there we go. We added, well, the prompt we got on the wheel was terrain feature, but we ended up adding an enemy variation. But it did start with that idea of slime on the ground that would slow you down. And we don't have to totally follow the wheel as long as we added something that I wasn't planning to add until that moment. And I'm really happy with how this one came out as a test of all the code bases. Like, I had to fix some stuff. I had to add this event wasn't there before. But mostly I didn't run into any like fundamental issues with the game that made it so I couldn't add this idea. And this is actually a pretty complicated, like, there's a lot of stuff that went into that. Mission accomplished, exactly. That was really fun. So yeah, I think I'll do this again in the future. I'll show the wheel because not everyone was here at the beginning. This is what I've got right now on the wheel. We rolled terrain, puzzles, NPCs, enemies, critters, or items. And if anyone has any ideas, let me know in the Discord server. Well, I'll add them to the wheel, and in the future I will certainly run another wheel stream and see what we can make. Probably not this month, because I have plans for the next 2 weekends. One of those might be a stream, we'll see. But it won't be a wheel stream. Critter, my beloved. We'll get Critter eventually, someday. And I'm going to be doing Global Game Jam 2025, hopefully, with some friends. So that means I'll post something I made, but I'm not going to be streaming that weekend either. But yeah, this is just one thing. I thought that was fun. And in the future, streams will usually be on Sundays if I stream. And I'm going to try to do that a little tiny bit more often, and then also keep posting short update videos throughout the week. I'll probably make an update video about this puddle bomb, the thing that we made on the stream today, just to update the people who weren't here. And also, that's free content. I just have to get a clip of me fighting that big slime monster, and we're good to go. I can post it, right? But yeah, so thanks everyone for coming. I will see you in a stream in the future. Where'd my tabs go? And have a nice day.